Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung says the country needs to look beyond today's growth engines such as semiconductors and AI to technologies that could shape its economy decades from now. Chairing a meeting on Korea's long-term growth strategy on Wednesday, Lee unveiled what the government calls the SED initiative, short for Strategic Emerging Engines for Disruptive Innovation. It focuses on 7 fields spanning 3 broad areas: clean energy, frontier technology, and supply chain resilience. Among the goals are commercializing Korea's light water small modular reactor technology by 2035, landing a domestically developed spacecraft on the moon by 2030, and building a homegrown quantum computer by 2029. North Korea fired a ballistic missile toward the East Sea from the Wonsan region at around 6 a.m. on Wednesday. According to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, the missile flew over 700 kilometers. South Korean and U.S. intelligence officials are currently conducting a precise analysis to determine the exact specifications, while sharing real-time data with Japan. The launch comes just 5 days before the annual South Korea-U.S. Freedom Shield joint military drills, an exercise North Korea routinely protests. Following the launch, Seoul's Office of National Security convened an emergency meeting, strongly condemning the consecutive launches as a clear violation of UN Security Council resolutions. President Lee Jae-myung has been presented with credentials from new U.S. Ambassador to South Korea, Michelle Steele. He met the new American diplomat at the Blue House on Wednesday and had brief talks. Steele said she would make greater efforts in promoting friendly cooperation between Korea and the U.S. And President Lee said he hoped the new ambassador could act as a bridge between the two countries to bolster the alliance and resolve pending issues. President Lee also received diplomatic credentials from the new ambassadors from Portugal, the United Arab Emirates, and Ireland. Korea recorded its biggest job gain in 4 months, adding more than 100,000 jobs in July. The Ministry of Data and Statistics said Wednesday that the number of employed people reached 29.13 million. Up 108,000 from a year earlier. This marked the second straight month of job gains after a downturn in May. However, the employment rate declined for a 4th consecutive month. Among those aged 15 to 29, the rate saw an on-year fall for the 27th straight month. The youth unemployment rate rose 1.3 percentage points to 6.8%, marking the sharpest increase in more than 5 years. South Korea's Professional Baseball League, the KBO, has surpassed 9 million spectators this season in the fewest games ever. The KBO has announced that the cumulative attendance reached just over 9.04 million on Tuesday, after about 67,000 fans attended 5 games nationwide. The milestone came after 505 games, 23 fewer than the previous record set last season. The league resumed on Tuesday after games were cancelled last week due to extreme heat. The average attendance now stands at nearly 18,000 per game, up about 6% from a year earlier. More than half of all games this season have sold out, with the KBO also on pace to break last year's single-season attendance record of more than 12.3 million. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.